everyone, welcome to the Freedom Monday Show. And today we are going to discuss about what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. What are the key ingredients? What are the magical sauce to be a successful entrepreneur? And when I look back into my entrepreneurial journey, when I study other entrepreneurs, very successful entrepreneurs out there, I understand that it is not just one magic sauce or magic bullet out there. It is a combination of many things. All right, it may be a few qualities. It can be a few qualities that help them stay on course. All right, rather than just one value. Okay. And today we are going to discuss all these values I have picked up and going to share with you so that you as an entrepreneur can thrive, continue chasing your goal out there. So let's get started. I think the first quality every entrepreneur must have is falling in love with the problem. So it is said that an entrepreneurial journey is nothing but solving problems of the people, the real life problems of the people. You see, when Tesla formed, Elon Musk knew that there was a huge problem with gasoline in the world. All right, it's a non-renewable energy. It is it is soon running out of the face of the earth, or at least the core of the earth, and we are adding up to the environmental problems, and we need to do something about it. That's when he came up with the idea of bringing out the electric vehicles. Now then again, there was problem back in those times. Electric vehicles were thought to be impossible to create as efficient as gasoline engines, because the electric engines were thought to be were really powerless, and they were they did not have, couldn't be you couldn't travel long time, and so on and so forth. However, Elon Musk steps in and he says, okay, let me try to figure out this whole scenario here. And he finds out the problem, finds out the solution for each problems. All right, the major problems, as in the environmental problems and the usage of a lot of conventional energies, and sub problems such as fixing the engine problems so that they can travel. These vehicles, electric engines are as efficient as gasoline engine and can travel long time as well. So that's where I think one of the best qualities of an entrepreneur, he should be able to identify the problem and he should be able to find the answer. It's like almost like falling in love with the problem, so that when he finds out the answer, people love the product and they are ready to grab it. So that's the first quality. The second quality is a good work ethic. Again, I couldn't find a better example than Elon Musk. He is said to have a very strong work ethic. He is a very hard worker. He works anywhere between 14 into 16 hours every single day, and and he urges his employees to do the same thing. Okay, he is not a person who tells them to do one thing and he goes and takes rest. No, he works super hard and tells his colleagues to do the same thing. And this is very important for entrepreneurs to have a strong work ethic. You need to be consistently working very maybe very hard on the things you are working on very consistently, so that you attain your goal at the appointed time, at the desired time. All right. I remember I spent time late nights recording podcasts, recording videos, writing scripts, and building landing pages. Right now the time is 11:35 at night. It's almost midnight right now. I found it with ideal time because I don't have any background noises out here. I live in this single room right here, provided by my employer. So daytime I get a lot of noise from outside. Right in front of me is a balcony, so underneath there is a road. So the students play there, and right behind me are other families where are the rooms of the other families. So I have constant noise coming from there as well. So I found it that midnight, towards midnight, is the best play time for recording my podcast. So I chose to record this podcast right now. And so back to our work ethic. It is all about finding, bringing out the best from your work and doing more of it, and that's how you get into the flow of it, and that's where you get more productive at your work as well. And the third quality, I think, is courage. You need to be really really courageous to start on with the entrepreneurial journey, because when you start on, you are not sure whether you are going to succeed or not. You are not sure if people are going to criticize you or people are going to support you. Many times people are going to criticize you for many of the things, but don't worry, there are some people who will support you as well. And these criticizers, these critics, these people, those who criticized you, most likely to join you when you are very successful. So you need to be courageous. Take courage and go ahead. Even if you don't know your journey, go for it. You see, I always remember this, the analogy of going for a long journey. When you set for a long journey, you don't know, I mean, you don't see the destination right away, but all you see is maybe 10 feet, 15 feet, or 100 meters ahead of you. All right, but you look at those 100 meters and travel ahead, move ahead. Finally you will reach your destination. The same rule applies here as well. You don't have to see the whole thing upfront. Okay, you need to see only a few feet ahead, and you need to move on with the hope that you will reach the destination, and surely you will reach. And courage helps us to do that. Courage helps us to continue even when the things get tough. All right. I remember when Elon Musk, when he started to launch his SpaceX, it failed 3 times. First time it was failed, he decided to do it again. He spent months developing the second one, launched it, tried to launch it, explored again, failed again, and he barely had enough money for creating the third one. However, he decided to go for the third one, and he thought that if third one fails, he would give up. But for the third one, luck favored him, and the third one was a huge success, and that kickstarted his success journey of his Mars mission. All right, so sometimes all it takes is a courage plus action. So you need to do that every single day of your entrepreneurial journey. And the fourth one is resourcefulness. Okay, an entrepreneur should be a resourceful person and knowledgeable person. Now you might ask me, where do you get resources? Okay, from good books. You can see that a lot of books are lined up right before me, I mean behind me. This is where I get all my resources. I also resort to good websites like Futurism and or whole other bunch of websites where I can get relevant information about my craft. All right, and that's how I keep myself updated. That's how most if not all of them, I mean all of the entrepreneurs keep them updated. Then you need to have a strong vision of the future. Okay, what are you on to? You need to be a visionary. An entrepreneur is a visionary. Again, when for each entrepreneur, when they started, they had a huge vision into the future. They knew how it is going to be in the future. So right now, one of my cousin brothers, he is developing a arguably a groundbreaking equivalent for TikTok in India, and his vision is very huge. So I even get amazed at his vision, and I get wonder at him. So a great visionary. You see, Steve Jobs was a great visionary when he started his company Apple. All right, especially when he rejoined Apple, and he started his journey with the products, iPod, iPad, iPhone, you know uh, iOS, all those stuff. He had a vision. He had a vision of dominating the market by giving the best product out there in the market, and that vision helped him to be a leader in the market. All right, so that's what we all want to do: have a vision so that you can dominate in the market. And finally, the fourth, the fifth or sixth one, okay, I don't know, I lost the number of, I lost track of my the number. Anyway, the last one is persistence in the face of criticism. Believe me, this is one of the toughest one. And um, you know um, when you do something new, when you do something different, people are ready to criticize you. People will criticize you. You can be as sure as that. However, all people will not criticize you, so there will be some people with you. So that is your consolation. I mean, that's your good news. Okay, whether or not somebody is with you, if you know that this is your stuff, start doing it. You need to continue doing it. And that's where the visionaries, the leaders, the great entrepreneurs are born. And I believe that today you are going to persist at the facing of criticism. All right, it can be one of your family members, can be one of your friends, it can be one of your colleagues, it can be one of your anyone who knows about you. Okay, and to such people, for such people, why do they criticize? Because they don't know your journey. Only you know your journey. They know only the part of journey they see in you. All right, that's why they are criticizing, and they are comparing it with their journey, and they find that it is not matching with their journey, then they criticize you. So let those criticisms never stop you. Okay, it should be like adding fuel to the fire. Okay, adding oil to the fire, or whatever they call it. And you need to be able to draw inspiration, draw motivation from it, and move ahead even in a quicker space. And I believe that this podcast has given you a lot of insight. And if you're watching me on YouTube, please consider subscribing my channel. I'll be putting a lot of video podcast in the channel as well. And if you're listening me in the podcast, okay, in Spotify, in Anchor, in Apple Podcast, in Google Podcast, wherever you are listening to me, consider subscribing and following me right now, so that you'll be able to get my future podcasts as well, regarding entrepreneurial journey, entrepreneurial experiments, entrepreneurial knowledge. All these things are bundled up into this podcast, these podcasts. So you can follow me and tune in, so that I come up with the next podcast. So until then, bye bye.